All right, folks, and we're back here for another Walking Dead review. This time jumping into episode 20 of the final season, season 11. Here, this episode is What's Been Lost. Now, yep, I'm late on this review. It ain't gonna be like that no more, folks. Events have been popping up, so I've been a little bit late on my schedule. But we always are here each and every week to talk all things Walking Dead. However, this is your first time, I must warn you that it's spoiler free. I know y'all want all the juicy details and whatnot, but no, I'm just here to get you hyped, get you prepared, the things you can expect in each week, every episode. And again, we're tackling episode 20 here, What's Been Lost. So, first off, this scene, by now I think we know whoever we get the flashback on, that's typically who the episode is going to be kind of based around. So we started getting those Carol flashbacks, and man, it's been a ride with Carol. I remember day one, Carol. I remember every single point of this character's journey. I'm all the way to the point now where we thought we were going to get the Carol and Daryl spinoff, but maybe not, maybe so. Who knows? That's still kind of questionable to me. But all the way from the beginning, all the way to her and Ezekiel. So yeah, this was a Carol episode. Not really, because it also had a lot of other people. I think this is a very strong Yumiko episode as well too. And I also thought it had a lot to do with Pamela as well. But nonetheless, we did get some Carol and Daryl action, which is always really, really cool. So I gotta say, this episode was a little bit chill to me. Not a lot going on. Now until those final moments where really those final moments left us with more questions than answers. So there's that. But yeah, going into the episode here, we still got a lot of turmoil going on inside the Commonwealth. We got those Hornsby / Pamela folks still going around doing their thing, starting trouble. And with that now, Yumiko, who is an attorney, now has to kind of step up and do some attorney duties here. And that really comes into play because now not only is she trying to figure out what's all going on, like where her family at, where her people at, but also like where does she side in all of this, because there's a side of the law and justice, and then there's personal feelings to everything, considering that with Eugene now being arrested, Pamela wants him prosecuted. Well, you're the attorney, Yumiko, what are you going to do here? And that's where the conflict is. Will she be able to withhold justice? And if she does or does not, then what happens to her family and friends? So, that's really Yumiko's dynamic and arc of this episode, weighing the pros and cons of the decisions that she make. Now, again, Carol and Daryl, more Carol and Daryl action. It's like a tease because you start to think like, oh, this is a lot of what we would get in the spinoff, a lot of what we already been getting, I can't say that like the two of them really work so good together. I do have my feelings about them announcing the Carol and Daryl show, and then when Melissa said she was going to step away, I was kind of like no, but also thought like maybe they're just saying that so we don't like automatically assume they're going to be safe this entire series. So like, yeah, Daryl we know will be there, but what about Carol? Like, do we now have to invest a different type of emotion towards Carol because she may not be ultimately protected, because she may or may not be on the spinoff here? So like, maybe that's the kind of the ploy that they were using here, but I don't know. But like seeing them two on screen together is always like a really, really good time. We're going to come back to that in a second. But yeah, they're looking to see who and where everybody's at. They're trying to find who they can. And they're going to look for clues even in the darkest places, even if they have to dance with the devil here. Oh, and speaking of Hornsby, we want to know what's up with him after that cliffhanger from last week. Is he alive? Is he dead? What's the deal? He was left in a very, very bad situation, and what would be made of that once those doors open up? But I think that, going back to Carol and Daryl, thinking about their banter and the action that they have, and just the badassness that the two of them have. And then Carol just don't play around. And I know we all respect Daryl to the utmost degree, but like when you see how Carol kind of makes Daryl take a step back, it's so dope to me. It's some of my favorite moments within all of The Walking Dead. Just seeing those two characters really work with one another. It was kind of romantic, and then it was kind of questionable gray area, then it was kind of like brother-sister-ish, and I know that sounds kind of sick and whatnot, but like they just always respected and had each other's back, and that bond that they share, it's like they always put business before everything else. And like when there's something to be done, seeing those two knowing they're gonna go do it, it's like the assignment is already understood and they just go do it. And I just love the two, how they work together. But you know, Pamela, as I mentioned, is trying to get everything, trying to regain law and order in everything in the Commonwealth here. And obviously with Max not being by her side, you know, what does that look like for her? You know, she's always been used to Max being there, but if Max ain't there, then what does she do? How does she act? Who holds her accountable, you know? And things are a little bit different. And then obviously we need to see what's up with Eugene, how he's holding up, because my man is locked up, won't let him out. And it's kind of, you know, we're on the edge of our seat on this one. We don't know how this is going to play out. We love Eugene. Damn sure never wanted Eugene to be killed in terms of like a walker or anything of that sort. But like considering that he may get killed in a very normalized way in a very post-apocalyptic time, it's kind of like, not Eugene. He's like the good in everybody. So I don't know. But lastly, going back to where I said the last few moments of this episode, there was some pretty intense moments, especially with Carol. There was this one low light scene that was really, really dope. And I was sweating bullets. But Carol's so calm, cool, and collective, like unbothered. It's just like, God, Carol's so cool. And then how the walkers looked in this. I don't know. I'm just going to say how the walkers' sort of skin removal look. And just the skeleton face is so cool. So like, you know, this episode definitely had moments that I enjoyed, but it wasn't my favorite. You know, not a lot that went on here. Again, more questions than answer as we start to get close to that finish line here. And I think this is one of those episodes that, you know, really put together really well, but didn't really like do too much and really pushing the story forward. This was like not a filler because it had points, but it just was just kind of like, you know, so very mid-grade. I would say like a 7 out of 10 or 6.5, 7 out of 10, something like that for me here. So, hey, but check it out. Let me know in the comments what your thoughts about this. This is episode 20, What's Been Lost. And as always, stay tuned because we got more Walking Dead content coming to you very soon. Big old bell.